Buffalo Public Schools are telling kids now that all white people perpetuate systematic racism, and they are forcing kindergartners to watch videos of dead black children to warn them about racist police. This is evil. This is pure evil. The teachers are encouraged to be more woke in their efforts at anti-racism. Okay, sure. And then the person that's doing this is this lady named Morrill, last name Morrill, which is suggesting that they should be teaching kindergarten classes about children killed by police. Videos featuring Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, and others to tell their stories. None of these cases give us any good indication that these people were shot by police because they were specifically black. I don't have time to get into all of the specifics of each one of these cases right now, but none of these are good. None of these are hills you want to die on if you're talking about trying to show that there's police brutality out there. This is just blatantly false, or situations where police misjudge the situation. But plenty of the same things have happened to white people, white kids as well. And Democrats don't care. They'll pretend like they care, but they really don't care. Other pupils learn that all white people play a part in perpetuating systematic racism, and now they're saying that between the 4 and 6-year-olds in kindergarten, they will be also asked by the teachers to compare their skin color with an arrangement of crayons. How is this even allowed? How is this possible? It's like what they're trying to do. This sounds like something out of like Germany, Nazi Germany or something, where they're basically saying, look, this is what makes you white. Look at this. Look at race. It's important. That's what they're telling these kids, 4 to 6 years old. I can tell you one thing that I was not concerned about when I was 4 to 6 years old. It was anybody's race. Of course, kids can see that there's black people and there's white people and other people that look different than them, but they don't know any different. They're not specifically focused on those things. That's just not the way that it is. But this type of thing ingrains it into a kid's brain that they are different, that you must feel bad because of that other person only because of their skin color. Only because of their skin color. I don't want anybody to ever approach me or say anything to me at all by making an assumption based off of something that I never even chose for it to be, like skin color. It's not something that is who I am. It does not define me. Yet that is exactly what they're trying to do with these kids by telling them this. This is the first step to make people more racist, if you think about it. If kids grow up this entire time, white kids, Hispanic kids, whatever it is, grow up thinking that they must feel bad for all black people because of what they did. And let's combine this story. Let's take this story from 4 to 6 years old. They're taught about this stuff. They're showing all these kids being killed by police and told that the black people have it harder. Black kids can't even play with their toys. They can't do this. They can't do that. Feel bad for yourself. Feel bad for yourself. You're always racist. And then they go on and they do exactly what these other people did in these other school districts in California. They go on to that. And then they're told later into middle school and high school that they are already racist, that there's no way to escape and escape this racism that they inherently have in them. How do you think this is going to kind of equal out to? Like, what do you think this is going to turn out to be when they're an adult? Because for some reason it tells me that they're not going to turn out to be some nice woke person. They're probably going to get sick and tired of it. Many people are. And when they get sick and tired of this stuff, they're going to hate black people. They're going to hate everything about black people because they've been told constantly in their entire life that they must worship them in every way possible because otherwise everything would just poof out of existence if it wasn't for this thing. This is only making people more apt to be racist because you're focusing so hard on it from such an early age and beating it into them constantly for all of these years. That is the biggest problem with all of this stuff. It doesn't work this way. It never should work this way. And telling this to kids when they're so young makes them focus on things that they don't need to be focused on. Kids need to be learning to speak and learning basic movement skills and other things like that are way more important. Learning how to be disciplined and learning how to respect authority. They should be learning these things a lot more than they should be worried about somebody's stupid skin color. But of course, that's all they're going to focus on trying to do with these kids. If you have a kid in school, all this really is speaking to at this moment is make sure that you are aware of what they're learning. Because if it's stuff like this, It is not right at all. Private school is looking better and better by the day. So they're told by 5th grade, these students are being taught that America has created a school-to-grave pipeline for black children. Wow. You know the actual biggest danger to black kids today? Actually, the biggest threat to all black people is other black people. All of these people that are putting out these things, telling them these schools what they need to teach. Last year, when hundreds of people were being killed in Chicago weekend after weekend after weekend, some of them 10, 12, 9, 6 years old kids shot in Chicago. If you didn't know about that, it's because the media didn't tell you about that. They didn't raise any alarms about it. You didn't hear BLM shouting to the hills about it. No protests happened for these kids. None. All of those people were shot at by other black people in majority black communities. They don't want to focus on that. They don't ever want to focus on that. Everything that they can do to take the blame away from them. We're not at fault. We're perfect in every way. They can't even do their own self-analysis. Anybody that's a well-adjusted person in this world today knows that you need to be able to reflect on yourself and be able to look yourself in the mirror and say, maybe it's me that's causing these problems to happen. But of course, they won't do that. They always have to put the blame somewhere else, on someone else. It's their fault that I'm oppressed. It's their fault that I'm poor. It's their fault that my kid got shot by the police. It's their fault that something else is happening, and never taking a second to maybe ask, I wonder if it was my kid just being a thug. I wonder if it was them that were actually committing the crimes. That maybe if I raised them the correct way, where they respected authority, that they would never be put in that situation in the first place. That will never get discussed amongst people like this, because they're entirely concerned about themselves, and that's it. That's it. Telling kids this type of stuff is pure evil. Full stop. If you want to stop racism, stop talking about it. You just watched a clip from The William Hall Show. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe.